Athletes are expected to keep fit and eat healthy, but baseball players? Man, these dudes have the weirdest and most shocking diets.
I didn't see it. I think he took somebody's nacho.
Starting with one of Major League Baseball's current best players, Bryce Harper. Just one look at this dude and you know not to get into a fist fight with him because he's a literal beast. With a standing height of 6 feet 3 inches, weighing 210 pounds, with absolutely zero fat anywhere on him, you'd expect all he eats are healthy greens and a strict diet, right? Well, no. That couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, he eats so much messy food from when he's home, even to the last minutes before a game. Back in 2013, the 2015 and 2021 National League MVP revealed while being interviewed on Jimmy Kimmel Live that he actually has some sort of addiction to eating the same foods just before he plays any game. The meal in question consists of peanut butter, honey, and Eggo frozen waffles. That's right, dude is stuck on freaking Eggos. And you know what's the craziest part? He doesn't even feel any way about being stuck on such foods. Harper legit went as far as saying, as long as I'm doing good or my team's winning, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing. I mean, eat Eggo waffles. It has to be Eggo before the game. Oh well, since it works for the 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner, enjoy your waffles away then. After all, Bryce isn't the only MLB high flyer who likes to indulge in some very unhealthy pregame dishes. 9-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, and 3-time AL Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander is another star player who fits that demographic. And just like Harper, Verlander actually publicly confessed his poor diet, this time during his appearance on Conan O'Brien in the winter of 2012, having just won both the AL Cy Young Award and AL MVP honors. When asked what his pregame meal was, the former Detroit Tiger pitcher responded saying,
the night before, as you can tell by my amazing physique, I eat Taco Bell.
You know what? An appetizer like Taco Bell meal wouldn't be so bad, but Verlander just had to snitch on himself some more. This pregame ritual meal is an outrageous standing order of 3 crunchy taco supremes with no tomato, cheesy gordita crunch, and a Mexican pizza without tomato. That's approximately 95 grams of fat and 1,230 calories every freaking night. Damn! It's absolutely insane to think he achieved so much in his career with such a poor diet. Still, it seems Verlander got good advice early on, because about 2 years later, he mentioned in an interview with Metsed Up that he had taken a break from the heavy Taco Bell meals. Unfortunately for this next guy, he didn't learn to manage his unhealthy diet until it was too late. Ask any baseball fan between 2010 and 2012. Pablo Sandoval was going straight to the top. It was one hell of a run with 2 All-Star selections, 2 World Series titles, and the San Francisco Giants being the series MVP in 2012. But fast forward to 5 years later, and the Boston Red Sox are releasing the very same Sandoval because of poor performances. Or maybe not exactly the very same Sandoval, since he had put on a crazy amount of weight. So much weight, his Giants teammates nicknamed him Kung Fu Panda. And you guessed right, it's all from eating too much unhealthy food. In fact, according to Sandoval's ex-trainer, Ethan Banning called the third baseman a food addict. Sandoval's love for food got so bad that whenever he lodged in hotels, his trainer had to do sort of a babysitting job to ensure he didn't end up overeating. One time, late in 2011, Sandoval went home to Venezuela for Christmas, and of course, Banning couldn't follow him home. Guess what? By the time this dude resumed just 21 days later, he had gained 21 pounds. Now that's some next level food addiction. Despite all the support and help he had around him, Sandoval never quite curbed himself until he got so bad he now plays professional baseball in Mexico. There's gotta be something up with baseball players and eating trash though, because up next, we have a Baseball Hall of Famer, and you won't believe what his meal pattern was like during his playing days. A legend of both Boston Red Sox and Tampa Bay Devil Rays, 12 All-Star selections, 8 Gold Glove Awards, 1 World Series championship, and a 5-time AL batting champion, Wade Boggs, made playing baseball look easy back in the 80s and 90s. Baseball youngins know him as one of the greatest third basemen ever, but the real OGs know Boggs for his well-earned nickname, Chicken Man. Let's just say that nickname is exactly what it sounds like. This guy loved eating chicken to a level you probably never heard of. What Boggs had was a so boring it's weird devotion to eating chicken, which started during his days in the minor leagues. But what started as the more affordable pregame meal for an up-and-coming Wade Boggs soon turned into a full-blown addiction. In all fairness to the chicken man though, he started to notice that he always performed at top levels every time he had chicken before games, so that pushed him to become a full-blown chicketarian. And when Boggs' chicken addiction became so profound, the Purdue Chicken Company gifted him a 6-month supply of chicken. But according to the man himself, it only took him a month to eat it all. That's one hell of a chicken appetite. And he also had a thing for beer, and is said to have once drank 64 beers on a cross-country flight the day before a game. And on another occasion, he downed 107 beers in a single day.
He's like, he pulled me aside and said, Charlie, really? It was 107. What?
Moving on, we have one player no one will expect to eat crazy because he simply doesn't look like it. He's none other than former San Francisco Giants pitcher Tim Lincecum. Tim was undoubtedly one of the top pitchers at the prime of his career. He had one hell of a throw, 4 All-Star selections, 3 World Series titles, and 3 National League Cy Young Awards to show for it. But the issue here was that he always looked too skinny. 5'11", but weighing only about 170 pounds. Tim could get blown away if the electric fan was turned up too high. Jokes apart though, Lincecum himself knew he had to get some more weight in. So during the break before the 2012 season, he decided to find a diet that would get him some weight. His go-to order to do this was a mind-blowing 3,150 calorie count meal that consisted of 3 double-doubles, 2 sides of fries, a lot of ketchup, no lettuce and tomatoes, and 1 chocolate strawberry shake from In-N-Out. That's probably the most unhealthy diet possible, don't you think? We mean, such a diet would make anyone fat and maybe near obesity at a point. But there's a reason Tim was known as the Freak, because his body metabolism must have been that of an alien. Dude came back for the new season still looking skinny as ever, like all he had to eat was wheatgrass shots and soybeans. In fact, his pitching coach still had to complain about his size, stating that he'd showed up too little. It was at that point Tim Lincecum knew to give up on putting on nearly enough weight to look like most of his colleagues. Eating all that and not getting fat, how weird is that? You decide, but it's definitely not as weird as Gabe Kepler's creepy diets. To keep it real, Cap might not have had the most impressive playing career during the dozen years he spent playing pro baseball in the MLB and NPB, but he definitely has made his mark as a coach. If not for anything, him being a coach and still being fitter than the majority of MLB players is one thing that makes him stand out. And by fit, we don't just mean he can bench press a couple of reps. Nah, Kepler is nearly 50 years old and he's ripped to shreds. His secret? He is very health conscious, working out obviously, and having a strict nutritional regimen. But he has a tendency to go over the top with eating healthy. One of Cap's weirdest diets was revealed in 1995 when he played collegiate baseball at Moore Park College. The baseball team had an away game at Cuesta College in San Luis Obispo, but unfortunately, Kepler forgot to pack his usual tuna on rye sandwich meal. While returning, the team stopped at McDonald's for everyone to grab a bite. Kepler ordered 40 chicken McNuggets, which isn't exactly odd for an athlete's post-meal game. Things began to get a bit spooky when the team got on the bus, and Cap began to perform a sort of skinectomy on each nugget. He legit peeled the bread off of each and every one of them and ate just the lean chicken inside. That's just weird as hell. It's probably not as weird as another time when the 2021 National League Manager of the Year took a bite of ice cream from his then-girlfriend's ice cream cone and then spat out the cream, simply because he was on a very strict chicken breast and beans diet and didn't want to get off track, so he just tasted the flavor of the ice cream and spat the rest out. Okay, it's now giving us the creeps. Damn. The next time you envy Kepler's shredded body, ask yourself if you're willing to get so weird with foods just to have that body. Just before we go, we have to mention one of the game's greatest, Babe Ruth and his equally legendary appetite. If you know a lot of older baseball fans, you'd have heard that Babe Ruth hit his 714 career home runs fueled by nothing more than hot dogs and beer. Sorry to break it to you, but that's cap. Except of course they specify that he ate an uncanny amount of hot dogs. The great Bambino was actually a voracious eater who took no shame in it. One time during his playing career, according to the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, Ruth once consumed 12 hot dogs and 8 sodas, all in between the games of a doubleheader. And it gets better. Babe also had a habit of scarfing down 3 hot dogs before every game, and one of his favorite breakfast meals was making himself a bourbon and ginger ale, which he completed with a steak, 6 fried eggs, and fries. Maybe you can't blame modern day baseball players for eating so much then. I mean, Babe Ruth ate all this junk and is still one of the GOATs. Honorable mention goes to the likes of Matt Garza, whose superstitious meal before every start consisted of Popeye's chicken, and Derek Holland, who had a similar superstition of finding a local Wendy's and ensuring he eats $30 worth of food before his games. Now you know the secret behind what baseball players actually eat. Which of these diets do you find the most shocking? Let us know in the comments section and enjoy our other videos.